Welcome to Time Well Spent, a podcast from LaborSync, the only real-time multilingual timesheet software your business will ever need. Today we are tackling, the absolute elephant on the job site for you.
Yeah, that classic standoff.
Right. You run a mobile crew, say, construction, HVAC, landscaping, and you have to track the work just to stay profitable. But the crew, well,
They hate feeling watched.
exactly. It creates this immediate friction. Management versus labor.
It really does. Management needs the data to bill correctly, but the crew feels like they're being babysat.
Which brings us to today's focus. We're unpacking a LaborSync blog article that tackles this head-on.
And the mission here is pretty bold. They argue that if you do this right, transparency doesn't destroy trust. It actually builds it.
Which sounds totally counterintuitive, right? Usually tracking is just synonymous with Big Brother.
Yeah, it feels like the definition of mistrust.
So how does the blog article justify flipping that narrative?
By redefining what the tracking is actually for. The article calls out the stigma. They call it paranoia with a smartphone.
Paranoia with a smartphone. Wow.
Right. Because if you're using GPS just to text a guy asking why he's been stopped for 6 minutes, that isn't management.
That's just harassment.
Exactly. The core argument here is that transparency is the antidote to micromanagement. Trust doesn't grow in the dark.
It grows when there's a shared, objective record of what actually happened.
Right. It completely removes that subjective he said, she said element. It solves the system versus trust problem. Think about a typical dispute like, was I on site at 7 or 7:15?
Yeah, if you're relying on memory or paper logs, that immediately becomes a question of integrity.
You're essentially calling someone a liar. But when you have an automated log, it's not an integrity issue anymore.
It's just data.
Exactly. You aren't debating the person's character, you're just looking at the facts.
That distinction is so crucial because it stops being personal. And the article ties this directly to the worker's benefit with a great phrase, accurate pay is trust in action.
That is the what's in it for me factor. If a worker relies on memory at the end of the week, they often shortchange themselves on drive time.
We're transitioning between traits.
Right. Real-time tracking creates a digital paper trail that guarantees they get paid for every single minute. It protects their paycheck from bad memory.
And speaking of protection, the article bridges this from financial protection to physical protection. This isn't just about dollars.
No, it's about safety.
Yeah.
This is the duty of care aspect, which is huge for hazardous fields.
Definitely.
If you have guys on a roof or in a remote area, knowing their location isn't spying, it's a safety line. If someone goes unresponsive, you need to know exactly where to send help.
It shifts the context from I'm watching you to I'm looking out for you.
Precisely.
So if a business owner is listening right now and wants to roll this out without causing a mutiny, how do they do it? The blog article outlines a specific framework, right?
Yes, they break it down into 4 steps to ensure you don't become that boss. First, set expectations immediately. You have to clearly frame the system as pay protection, not a disciplinary tool.
And the second point was about where you put your focus outcomes versus activity.
Right. Don't obsess over the minutia, like a GPS dot stopping for coffee. Look at the job completion and client satisfaction. If the client is happy and the job is done.
The GPS dot doesn't matter.
Exactly. Then step 3 is problem solve, don't blame.
So using the data as a diagnostic tool rather than a weapon.
Right. If a crew is consistently slow, don't assume they're lazy. The data might show your project scoping is off or they're stuck in traffic patterns you didn't account for. Use the information to fix the business process.
Not to attack the person.
Exactly. And the final step the article mentions is reciprocal transparency.
Show them the data.
Let them see how it drives bids and scheduling. When the crew understands the why, it stops being a tool used on them.
And becomes a tool used by them.
Precisely.
It seems the ultimate goal is for the technology to just fade into the background. It creates a baseline of truth so everyone can just focus on the actual work.
That's the ultimate goal. It simply confirms what your best workers already know. They're working hard, and the system proves it.
Well, here is a thought to leave you with. If your best employees are the ones doing the work, shouldn't they be the ones who want the most accurate record of it?
That is a very powerful way to look at it.
This episode of Time Well Spent was brought to you by LaborSync. Track employee hours and job site locations in real time from any device. Start your risk-free trial today at laborsync.com.